Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for this class on the Feelings Kit, which is a 6 oil collection put together, and it's a Young Living collection. My name is Amy, and I'm going to be teaching this class with Debbie, and Debbie is amazing with the oils, so make sure that when she's talking, you got your pen and paper out, because she's going to be sharing about a lot of the why behind these oils, these 6 oils, but also, talk about like why essential oils are amazing for our bodies, how they work with our bodies, and how they assist with barriers. I know it's been my experience with these 6 oils, and when I've done either the ritual or the protocol, yes, there's 2 different things you can do with these, 2 different ways of applying and doing affirmation with these oils. I've had a lot of release, a lot of emotional release, that I have also felt physical release from. It's, in fact, I wrote an article about it earlier this week, which I can share. I'll be sharing wherever you're watching this video, you'll have access to that link where I share my testimony. But with that, today we're going to, like I said, give an overview of just essential oils, as you know, regarding the Feelings Kit, these 6 oils. So Debbie's going to be sharing some great information, and then Debbie and I are actually going to talk about each of the 6 oils one by one together as we do the Feelings protocol, emotional release protocol, with these 6 oils. So I know if you guys are like me, you're excited, you're ready to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Debbie.
Thank you, Amy. I think this will be a fun class, and we'll both share a lot and learn a lot from this one. So there is, first thing I want to talk about is the difference with oils that why Young Living. Oils are not created equal. As much as we'd like to believe that they are, they aren't. And if you see essential oils on the shelf at the pharmacy or at, Target or Walmart or wherever, they're going to say 100% essential oil. And by law, there only has to be 5% essential oil in that bottle for them to be able to claim it's 100% essential oil. There's the difference. Young Living's oils are 100% essential oil. They also are not, they do not use any chemicals to distill them. They are steam distilled, and so therefore you get a pure oil. That's probably one of the biggest differences in diffusing, and it's what we're going to talk about a lot today, diffusing and putting it on your body for emotional release. And so you want to make sure you're using a pure oil. You want to make sure you're not putting more toxins back into your body, because we're trying to get rid of emotions and the toxins that are in our bodies. So that's what you just need to know. Also, one of the most powerful uses of essential oils is for the brain / our emotions. It's where oils really get to show off. You don't want anything in your diffuser that you wouldn't put in your brain, which is why I talked about the purity of our oils. I had a friend, just read recently that somebody said, I had a friend who said, oh yeah, I only use vitality oils, Young Living vitality oils in my water, but when I diffuse, I use some of my cheaper oils. And I'm saying, no, don't even do that. That's because it's releasing toxins into the air. The quickest way they get into our body, the oils get into our body, is through the air, and the molecules are smaller than viruses, and so they get into our limbic system really, really fast. So just make sure when you're diffusing, you don't use your cheap oils, you use your Young Living oils. Okay, so the oils actually can get from breathing them, get into our brains within 3 to 6 seconds. That's all it takes to get it into our brain. So once you start diffusing, you're smelling it almost immediately, and it's affecting your body. It takes approximately 26 seconds if it's absorbed, if you apply it topically to your skin. If you apply it topically, it works through 7 layers of skin, muscle tissue, past the body's defense systems to get into the bloodstream, where it is finally dispersed into the circulatory system, which also filters through the liver. If you take an oil internally, which would be our vitality oils, it has to pass even more bodyguards and body systems. If you take it internally, it goes straight to the gut, and the hydrochloric acid in the stomach breaks it down before it even gets absorbed through the colon walls. Oils diffused in the air, however, bypass all of that. They enter the nasal cavity and pass through the olfactory membranes and in the nose and go right into the bloodstream, right through the blood-brain barrier. And so they're fast moving. And I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want cheap oils doing that to me, getting the access that quick. We've got enough other toxins in our body and in our air. So these tiny molecules, like I said earlier, are smaller than a virus. And that means they cross the blood-brain barrier into the limbic node of the brain, which is the emotional center of our brain. And it controls our entire body, everything in us. I was shocked when I found out that anger is stored in our liver. And so all of our emotions are stored, they pass through and they circulate throughout our body, and then they're stored in different places of our body. Every emotion is. The brain is the emotional control center of your entire body. It's like the dashboard on your car. You check your gas, you check your oil, you check your speed, and just about everything at a single glance. The limbic node is the place where emotions hang out. So the second place you have to worry about with emotions is your gut. That's a different class. We have done a class on the gut. We will do another class again this year, probably on the gut. So oiling on autopilot, which is what we want to try to get you guys started doing today. And that is, I have only recently started doing this. I've only recently gotten to the habit of oiling on oiling/diffusing on autopilot. And that was one of the ways you do that. Amy's got a real good way she does it. She sets her bottle of water, her glass of, she puts a cup of water, glass of water right beside her diffuser every night. And then when she gets up in the morning, she can start diffusing immediately. I have a gallon of distilled water that I keep right at the base, wherever my diffuser's sitting. It sits right underneath it on the table. And put an oil out that you want to oil the next morning. That's one of the ways. Then you put that into your routine. You get up. One of the first things I do is I turn on lights. One of my diffusers is right by my light. So there's a bottle of water, my diffuser. I fill it up with the oil that's sitting there. And that's how you can start oiling on autopilot. Have things set up and prepared and ready so that it reminds you to do it. If you're doing that after work, if you're going to be doing it after work, same thing. Have it all set up so that when you walk in the house, all you have to do is, you don't have to think, what oil do I want to diffuse? Which is my biggest thing. What do I want to diffuse today? Well, we're going to show you some oils that are really good today to diffuse, put in your diffuser and help you work through some of your emotions. So I'm going to just show you real quick here, and we'll turn it back over and start going through everything. This is our feelings kit, and that's what it looks like. And you open it up, and these are the oils that are in it. The oils that are in it are harmony, forgiveness, inner child, present time, release, and valor. And Amy and I both love Valor. The other ones are really, really good as well, but that's one. Valor is one that we both just love and use daily, I would say. So I'm going to head over to you, Amy, and let you take it away with some of the oils.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. As I was listening to her, I loved how she gave that example about her friend who was using the vitality oils for her water. Vitality oils, that's our line of oils that are pre-labeled to say you can ingest them. they're the obvious ones, if you will, like the citrus oils, the peppermint, the spearmint. But I will say I'm 100% with Debbie on this. It's like, please do not use the quote unquote, well, we'll just say non-Young Living oils. I won't even say whether, doesn't matter how much they cost. Do not think, oh, I'll use my non-Young Living oils in said diffuser. There's my diffuser right there. Because those oils, as Debbie said, they're getting into our system. Real quick side note, when I first started using oils, I was like, what's a diffuser? What's an essential oil? Do they work? And I diffused way too many drops of thieves because I didn't know. And I learned that oils do get into your body through simply diffusing, because we'll just say I went through a detox with that. I was fine, it was all fine. I don't recommend doing it that way. But I was like, and for me, it was a real big eye opener. I'm like, simply smelling thieves through, via the diffuser, they get into your system and they do their job. And so, yes, please, 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 Young Living oils, internally, externally, aromatically, topically. Anyway, one thing I do want to say before we do get into the 6 oils is we labeled this class, the Feelings Kit, Essential Oils Assist with Barriers, because there's a lot of work, emotional work done out there where people have, I want to say victory. I know I had a victory with using, when they're pairing essential oils with their emotional work. Now, we are not medical experts. We cannot treat, diagnose, or cure. We're giving you information that are at our fingertips, and then we're sharing our personal testimonies along with that. So please understand that. I am not saying stop going to therapy, stop doing any other, prescriptions that you're using to help you. I am not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that there is a lot of studies out there and a lot of testimonies out there with essential oils helping people with their emotional work. Again, for me, and what the healing I was going through in 2021 from a traumatic injury, essential oils definitely were like my heroes. But I want to share a little bit from this book right here. So it's not my own words, so I apologize. I'm going to read from here. But I don't think, Debbie talked about this. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. I don't think we realize how overloaded we are. I mean, we know we're overloaded with social media, but do we realize how overloaded we are with everything coming at us? Social media, our family, our friends, work, good things, bad things, this things, that thing, the state of the world, right? We have so much coming at us. We are overloaded. That's not even to mention the food we are eating that we should be eating, or what we should be drinking that we're not drinking, or whatever. I'm drinking too much coffee. I know I'm being so convicted for me personally that I need to cut coffee out. I love coffee and I've not cut it out yet. So I'm just saying, we're just so overloaded, our bodies are. And so again, talking about essential oils in that respect. I mean, a little dramatic, I apologize, it's Saturday morning. Okay, so this is actually from a book where Sarah Harnish wrote this. So it's in the I format as if it's Sarah writing it. But she said, Sarah writes, I once read that the average Chicago Tribune Sunday newspaper contains more content than what a person in the 1800s would experience in a 100-year lifetime. That paper is significantly smaller than the amount of data your kids are looking at in the span of a week on all the social media and social networking platforms out there. We are inundated with content and have some type of emotional reaction at every turn. Our body, I want to point out that before you guys popped on this video with us, and for those, we have people who are joining us live for this video that we're going to do a live Q&A afterwards with. Debbie and I were talking about emotional responses that we were having to some things that were coming at us. So, it's constantly, if you stop and think about like the emotional reactions you have to things, hey, when the emotional reaction is great, that's great. But when the emotional reaction kind of hits you wrong, then you're like, why am I reacting that way? So Our body builds emotional responses to the things we see, read, hear, and experience. And now we have stored responses that can repeat again and again as our cells duplicate and copy bad information that's been stored. And I'm with Debbie. The fact that your liver stores anger, so random to me, but I started doing a liver detox last summer. No, it was summer of 2020. July of 2020, I started doing a liver detox. I was 2 hours into it and I was mad. I had to stop. Like, we need to do other emotional work. Anyway, too much. Sorry. Essential oils assist with barriers. If you look at a single molecule, it contains hundreds of constituents. Some of them go by the names I can't pronounce, aldehydes or esters. These two in particular are calming to the central nervous system. They allow us to relax instead of the body building and storing the emotion. One reason that oils work for emotions is simply because of the constituents that they are naturally made of. These little molecules help the plants process stress. Plants deal with stress all the time. They have to, weather storms, bacteria, fungus, wind, flooding, droughts, etc. And so, God created them, and oleoresins, another word I can't pronounce, you guys, containing constituents to keep them safe. So why not harness that for our human emotions? And so that is, a little bit more that I wanted to get into, but it's like essential oils do help with like our barriers. And so now we're going to get into those 6 oils. And I'll share this handout. What we're going to be going over today is called the emotional release protocol with these 6 oils. And I'll have a link to this resource for you. So no worries. I mean, if you want to take notes, if you're like me, you like to take notes, it's great, but just know that this is going to be available to you. All right. So the first oil in this protocol that we're going to go over is Valor. I already have a roller top on it because that's just how I roll with Valor. But the first part of this emotional release protocol, it says to apply on your feet. Now, I have 2 pairs of socks on because it's like 1,000,000 degrees below zero here in the Midwest. So I'll be real honest, I'm not going to try and take my socks off during this class and apply it. But it does say apply Valor on the soles of your feet every night. Now, that being said, I'm also a big proponent of just get the oils on you. Make it easy for you. Just like Debbie said, keep water and oil next to your diffuser, make it easy for you guys, right? You keep the toothpaste and the toothbrush next to the sink in the bathroom, just set yourself up for success. And that being said, just get the oils on you. So where I'm actually going to apply Valor with this is I'm going to apply it right here at my temples, in part because I have a slight headache. So Valor on the sides of your temple, or like I said, if you want to put them on your feet. And I don't see Debbie getting her feet up and putting them on her feet either. So she's like with me. Now, one of the reasons I love Valor is it is great. It is an oil that's been designed to empower us, make and inspire feelings of confidence. And when I think of Valor, I think of one of the oils in there. It's Northern Lights black spruce. And this tree is obviously grown in the Northern Lights, where it's grown under the Northern Lights. And so you're thinking, all right, that's up in, Northern Canada. That faces a lot of winter storms. So, their roots are deep so they can weather those storms. And I'm like, that's a strong tree. The essence of the strength of that tree is in that essential oil, which has been put into this sweet blend called Valor, in which with other oils that are in this blend, I'm applying that, and it's just helping me, like I said, it helps with confidence. Debbie, I know you use Valor on a regular basis. Do you have any insight on Valor that you want to share?
I actually get regular chiropractic adjustments. And one of the things that Valor is known for is one of the nicknames of it is chiropractor in a bottle. And so I like to use it after an adjustment. And I broke my neck 40 years ago. And so I have major issues in my neck that affect my skull and pain in my neck and stuff. And it actually helps. I just apply it on my spine, on my neck, after an adjustment, and it helps it last longer, because at times I don't use it or don't do it. I notice the adjustment it quits working before I get back to the chiropractor. So that's how I use it. I like it as a chiropractor in a bottle. It helps me stay in alignment, which helps my nervous system function better.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I forget that it's called a chiropractor in a bottle. So it's definitely great for helping with not just emotional balance, but physical balance as well. And I know it's been an oil that I've used as I'm healing from a traumatic brain injury. And it's been an oil I have definitely, it's been a go-to oil for me. All right. The second oil, Harmony. Could we use, I know, I feel like I could definitely use more harmony in my life. Harmony is an oil that in this protocol you can apply on your spine or on the crown of your head. So I do have some drops. I'm going to apply it. I don't know if a drop's coming out or not. I can't even see. Oh, who cares? We'll just do a bunch. You can put it right here on the crown of your head. There, I can feel it now. Or on your spine. If you've got, your husband or your wife, they can help you with applying it on your spine. But otherwise, just do it in the crown of your head. When I do these protocols, I personally am always applying affirmations to them. And also, I'm a woman of faith, and so I am praying to Jesus as well. But you know what? I believe pairing oils with affirmations just makes the affirmations more impactful. My personal opinion / experience on that. So, Debbie, Harmony, any thoughts?
It's just a great oil for helping our confidence as well. So, I think that's another great reason to put it on the crown of your head, is to help you be confident throughout the day.
Awesome. I like that. I never made that analogy before. All right, forgiveness. Forgiveness is one to put around the navel clockwise with your right hand. Again, I'm giving you guys these instructions. So I know that seems random, but there's reasons to that. When you're activating the molecules and the constituents in here, there's something to that. But anyway, so forgiveness around the navel clockwise with your right hand. Again, it's winter. I have on a tank top, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and a flannel shirt. So we will forego that. But what I will do is I'm going to put a drop in the palm of my hand. I'm going to put it in my left hand. Oh my God, I'm out of forgiveness. Isn't that like spiritually? Oh, there we go. And I'm going to, with my right hand, I'm going to rub it around in a clockwise position and rub it together and inhale. I think about that. Something I'm always mindful of when I get irritated. Usually, I'll be honest, if I get irritated with people at work or at the grocery store, at the bank, or wherever, everybody, right? Don't we always get irritated with everybody, or am I the only one? But then I think, you know what? They're just doing the best that they can do. I want that grace extended to me. It's like I need to be extending that grace to everybody else. Notice I didn't feel that way until I put on forgiveness. But anyway, do you have thoughts, Debbie? Debbie's like, Amy, you've gone off script. I know. Thanks, Debbie. Debbie keeps us grounded, and I'm like the Amy.
That's okay. That's all right. I think with forgiveness, one of the things for me personally, I always think forgiveness, I need to forgive someone else for something. But we also need to remember that we need to forgive ourselves. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We do things wrong. And I struggle to forgive myself more than I struggle to forgive other people. So don't forget, this oil can be used for that as well, to help forgive ourselves for things that have happened, or, that we've done wrong, the mistakes we've made. So there you go.
You know what? Thank you. Again, Debbie keeps it real. Like she brings it home. I appreciate that. And she's right. We do need to forgive others, and we need to forgive ourselves. And with that, takes us into the next oil is release. I actually have the 15 mil out. My 5 mil is somewhere lingering. Release. This one, you know, I was talking about it. Debbie was talking about it. It's like talk about forgiveness. It's like we hold on to hurts or we hold on to unforgiveness. And that's where this release oil can come into place. I actually got this oil when I was grieving a loss of a loved one. Someone suggested this is great for just with grieving. And but this oil is, you know, as we hold on to those emotions of hurt and anger, it can lead to bitterness. And it's again, we get blocked with that, you know, so it's like release could be a part of that. I mean, that's like a whole emotional like conference on releasing emotions. I'm getting emotional about it actually. But this release helps people to let go of hurts, anger, frustration. It helps promote harmony and balance. Notice we've already talked about balance when in regards to Valor. We talked about harmony. And this is one that you can actually apply to your liver area, right? Because that's where your anger is. Or you can apply it under your tongue. And I have taken this under my tongue before, so I will go ahead and do that real quick. Wish I had my mirror.
As Amy does that, I just want to say that applying under the tongue is not considered taking it internally. Applying under the tongue is considered topical application. And I am not 100% sure why, other than I don't think that it goes into the organs like it does if you take it internally. I think it actually absorbs into our skin, like our skin does.
Yes, and that's the best way I've heard it explained, in a way that can be understood and shared, like repeated. So, because I've heard that for years, I'm like, but why? But just the way Debbie explained it, is like it gets into our system differently than if we actually swallowed it down our throat. And release is kind of interesting one to put under your tongue, because you do get the flavor in there. The aroma becomes the flavor. But this one is actually really beautiful. I guess I'm emotionally attached to that one. Okay, so the next oil is present time. Present time, all of these are blends, so it means they're a combination of other oils. You know what? It's easy. So speaking of forgiveness and releasing and all the things, it's easy for us to either dwell in the past or worry about the future. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one with that. I know Debbie's nodding her head. Thank you, Debbie. And I try very hard to not dwell on my past. I want to learn from my past. I don't want to dwell on my past. I think there's a difference, because, you know, we can learn from our past, but it's like we get so focused even on our future. And I think it's important to think about our future. I'm always thinking about my future being, you know, a hope-filled future just of gifts waiting for me to open. But it's like, if I am not focused on the here and now, I'm not going to be present, and I'm not going to accomplish what needs to be accomplished today. And so present time is one. And it's another one again to apply clockwise. And it says to apply clockwise, or it says in clockwise circles in the palm of your hand, apply to your thymus. So I think it's, again, putting a drop in the palm of your hand. I need to get another feelings kit. That's all I have to say. And where's your thymus? Is it like right in here? Or is that your thyroid?
That's your thyroid. It's actually
here?
just under your sternum, your breastbone.
Okay.
Just
well, in
right
the meantime, I am going to just get it on me, because I know it's so amazing. So just get it on me. So I'd like to actually, you know, be showing you guys accurately, but hello, it's wintertime here in the Midwest, and I don't know where my thymus is. Thanks. I was actually going to look it up, but I forgot. Do you know, I don't use present time enough, confession. Debbie, is it one that's on your radar a lot?
It is not, and it should be more. I think, yeah, because we all need to be more present in what we're doing and not worrying about the future or the past. And so, yes, that is definitely one that I need to use more. And just as when you guys get these protocols from Amy, when she sends, when you follow the link and go get these protocols, there really is something to the direction that it says to circle around and the application and where you apply it gets it to the organs that it needs to get to the quickest. And this has been thousands of years. There's been documentation of apply an oil this way in the palm of your hand, apply it to a lobe with your right thumb, and so there's medical information that says that there's reasons for this. It's our Vitaflex points, it's reflexology. So while it sounds corny to do it that way, there really is something to it. I agree with Amy, get it on your body however you can. But if you're getting the full effect for what you're doing, this emotional release, the emotions, you probably want to follow it that way and try to do it. And yes, I know we're not going to do that right here, right now. I know that, but just information.
And I appreciate you saying that, Debbie, because if I wasn't being recorded, I would be putting these, I'd look to see where thymus is located, but then I would legitimately be applying these where they need to be applied. Okay, the last but not least of the 6 oils is inner child. And first of all, it just smells like summer. But I think that's also because it's got citrus oils in there, and it's got floral oils in there. But to me, it just smells like you just stepped in the summertime. So inner child, this one helps when we are struggling with emotions of negativity that can cause you to lose yourself or your true identity, which I think, again, there's obviously a method to putting these 6 oils together, because that makes me think about, if we're losing our identity or not, being true to ourselves, it's like that can happen. And I'm speaking for myself, when I do get focused on the past, or I'm dwelling on the past, or I'm thinking about the future, but I'm not taking care of what needs to be taken care of today, or I'm not forgiving myself, or I'm not forgiving others. And so, like I said, there's not only, like what Debbie was saying, is use these oils how the protocol is saying, because there is a method to this method, but there's also a reason why these 6 were paired together, because they do work together. And so when Debbie and I, we got together one day so that's the 6 oils. Debbie and I got together one day last year, which really last month. It was like a month ago, actually. I think it was like December 8th. And one of the things that we were wanting to do is be very intentional with classes that we're going to have for this first part of 2022. But in that also just be teaching about, some of the basics, self-care, gut health, this, that, and the other, but do it in a way that's, first of all, for me, fun. And for me and Debbie, informative, and most importantly for you guys to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's how that can work in my life. Yeah, this is what I think would help me. This is what I need. And with all that, that's why we picked the theme for this month of January to get your mind sharp. And we started with the feelings kit because, like I said, when Debbie and I, before we other people popped on this Zoom and we hit the record button for this video, we were talking about just some reactions that we were having. They were bad or horrible, but it was kind of taking up some free rental space in our brain, and it was causing us not be as sharp, but be as focused. And so it's like when we are able to, we're always going to have emotional reactions to things, but it's like, what's our response to that? And I know for me, when I'm using oils and I'm pairing them with my affirmations as well as my prayers, that it just reaches parts in me that it helps. Sorry, I was going to get really off script. So that's for another day. And for anyone joining us live, we can share a little bit more, but we will also, with this video, include links on how to get the feelings kit, as well as other products that will help with getting your mind sharp. And that bundle will grow each week as we teach other classes. So next week's class, which will be available in the same space wherever you're watching this, be it on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, you'll be able to get access to this class as well. Next week, we're teaching on hormones. And it's like, how do you know if your hormones are off? When Debbie and I were looking at that list, we're both like, oh, I'm not gonna tell them what Debbie said, but I was like, oh my gosh, my hormones are off and I didn't even know. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. I mean, it's like, the list is amazing and crazy and frustrating, but very informative. And then we're gonna be doing the class after that on diffusers. Are they pointless? I don't think they are. I got my diffuser going right there. And then the last class of the month will be on wellness protocols. We'll be talking about wellness mapping. And then for the live Q&A portion of that, we can even dig a little deep and go over some specific things. If someone says, hey, I've got this going on, and we can share our testimonies and stories on like, well, why don't you try doing this and this? That being said, Debbie, did you have anything that you wanted to correct me on or add to what I've said or anything?
Just real quick on the, I was talking about diffusing at the beginning, and it's a testimony to one of the oils, Release. I have 4 adult children, and one of the children, somebody started diffusing Release in the house, and my child broke down in tears all of a sudden after a few an hour or so of being in the room with the oil Release being diffused. And they had some things that they had internalized and not brought up and not talked about to anyone. And they were able to release it and talk about it with their spouse. And I just want to say that, they had no idea what was being diffused. They had no idea, they were just in the room and it happened. So I'm saying these oils are powerful. It's not just our mind making it happen, that they work. They help get rid of the emotions and help release things, or help us be present, or help us to have the confidence of a child, the inner child. So they do work even in diffusing, and even if the person in the room doesn't know what you're diffusing. So just a little testimony.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Debbie. And I think I remember that story. So, so before we end the video, I would be remiss if I did not mention that, yes, Debbie and I work together. We are Young Living brand partners, and that anybody who is already a customer with Young Living, they can become a brand partner pretty easy and pretty inexpensively, and they can start earning an income. And it may be something as simple as getting your oils paid, which I don't think is all that simple. I think that's really important because Young Living, ordering your products, shampoo, oils, your antioxidants, your supplements is not another line item on your budget. It's just, instead of buying your supplements from the grocery store or the health food store, you're buying them from Young Living. And same with your oils, your soaps, your shampoos, your toothpaste. And we've got a few different product lines. So it could be just something as simple as, yeah, I want to get my oils paid for. How do I become a brand partner, and how do I start earning an income? And so we are going to be on a regular basis doing, I think we agreed to do 1 class per month, just talking about the business. So we'll be sharing information on how to get connected to that class, as well as we'll be posting it wherever you're watching this video, because we just want you to be informed. That's our posture. We want to bring the information to you for you to help you as you're wrestling through decisions that you're making, be it regarding your health, your finances. With that, thank you for your time, and we'll see you guys next time.